Jews originated around 1000 BC and lived in West Asia. Ancestry began from Abraham the prophet, his son Isaac, and his son Jacob. Two kings were much spoken about. One was King David, the founder of Jerusalem. The other was King Solomon, who built the Temple of Jerusalem. The term Jews refers to an ethnic and religious group that traces its origins to the ancient Hebrews of the Eastern Mediterranean, particularly the historical region of Judea. It does not mean they are just followers of Judaism. They are far beyond a race, solely united because of religion. Uniquely for Jews, if they lose their language, race, or even identity of religion, they belong. Still, if they are born Jew, forever they are Jew. Beyond followers of Judaism, the former Jews were called Isrealites. Jews believed in the holy book of Torah, where Israelites came into play. According to the Torah, Jacob was given the name of Israel, looking at his good deed by God Yahweh, as it meant he who struggles or strives with God. In the world population, the Jewish population is just 0.2%, and in some way or other, the Jews play a huge role in the world, politically, economically, socially, technically, legally, demographically, etc., because of the works they put in towards the development of human society. There was a period of extreme outpouring of anti-Semitism. Jews were targeted and abused. Invasions of various empires like the Assyrian, Babylon, Persian, Roman, and Ottoman led Jews to leave their home country. Fighting back was not an easy Jews at the time, and Jerusalem Temple once was destroyed. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Jews escaped their home country and only a few endured in West Asia. During World War II, as anti-Semitism increased, Zionism emerged. As Jews did not own a homeland, they formed a mission to have a country as their own. The dream began with Theodor Herzl. Theodor started a new movement for Jewish statehood called Zionism, presenting the idea of settling down in the ancient homeland of Jews. The state was Palestine. The Zionist Congress was organized and decided to create a homeland in Palestine. As the number of Arabs was high, there was a sketched plan. In 1896, Palestine was under the Ottoman Empire. Jews offered an idea to settle the foreign debts of Palestine in return for the country's colonization, and the Sultan rejected it. Jews switched to Plan B. Jews bought lands from Ottoman landlords, where the first wave of migration occurred. Arabs understood the Jews' plan because Jews started farming soon after the purchasing of lands and fired Arab farmers and workers. In 1909, Jews set up their towns in Palestine and looked different from Palestine and resembled European towns. Fundings were from outside, as they had a big network in America and Europe. Zionists asked Great Britain for help to own Palestine. Britain's response was not positive, but gave alternative countries instead of Palestine. Jews did not like the idea. World War I began. Britain needed the support of Jews, and Jews offered the needed support. In return, British wrote to Jews in the establishment Palestine of as a national home for the Jews. After World War I, Britain got control over Palestine. Power went to the minority's hand, the Jews, because of more money, more support, and more organization. In the 1930s, Jewish migration increased, and Germany was a reason. Palestinians revolted and attacked Jewish settlements. The British gave their fullest support and came up with the idea of partitioning the country as a separate Jewish state and an Arab state. Palestinians rejected it by sending proposals. They were favorable but could not capitalize. In World War II, Britain was tired because they were politically and financially drained and gave up on the Palestine and Israel issues in the hands of the UN. The UN decided on a partition plan. The Jewish state was 55% of Palestine with more Jews and fewer Arabs. Arab state of 44% of Palestine in the western state of Gaza. Jerusalem remained at 1%, and the decision was the city would be controlled by an international regime, UN. Palestinians rejected the plan and Jews were fine. And in 1948, immediately some Arab countries attacked Israel, not based on a collective goal, but with other political goals of their own. Israel was delighted, fought back, and won the war in 1949, and occupied 77% of Palestine. Now the State of Israel, the West Bank controlled by Jordan, Gaza controlled by Egypt, Palestinians losing their country, lives, and belongings. In 1967, in another war, Arab states versus Israel, Israel won, and captured the West Bank, Gaza, and Golan Heights, the entire Palestine. Palestine started seeking statehood in 1967 borders. Israel disagreed because of settlements, demography, and expansions. Any Jew, anywhere in the world, can become an Israeli citizen, called Jewish law of return. Resolution is behind years. Conflict started when Europe discriminated against Jews and Ottomans. Europe drew them out. Palestinians were just innocent. This is not a conflict that seems territorial, looks tough, and can lead to World War III.